Welcome back to Mindvree's Heart-Life Relationship, where we dive deep into the complexities of relationships, intimacy, and how to live your life with others. Today we're tackling a provocative subject, 6 signs of a stupid woman's stoicism. Now before you jump to conclusions, let me clarify. We're not here to bash anyone. This video is about recognizing unhealthy behaviors in relationships and understanding how to avoid them. Stoicism, the philosophy of rational thinking and emotional resilience, teaches us how to stay calm and composed even in the face of difficult people or situations. So, let's get into it. Alright, the first sign of a woman who might be stuck in some unhealthy patterns is this. She's constantly reacting instead of responding. Think about it, man. You ever been with someone who just flies off the handle at the slightest thing? No emotional control, no taking a breath, just pure raw reaction. That's a red flag. It's like they're running on autopilot, letting their emotions dictate their entire reality. And look, we all get emotional, right? We're human. But the difference is, a mature, emotionally intelligent person, they learn to pause. They take that extra second to think before they speak, to choose their response instead of just reacting. Stoicism is all about that. It's about recognizing that you have power over your mind, over your emotions. You don't have to be a slave to every little feeling that pops up. You can choose to respond with reason, with logic, even in the heat of the moment. That's what builds trust and respect in a relationship, because when someone's constantly reacting, it's exhausting. So, if you're with a woman who's always in reaction mode, it's time for a conversation. Next up, we've got the classic victim mentality. This one's a real energy vampire, man. We're talking about the woman who always sees herself as the victim in every situation. Nothing is ever her fault. There's always some external factor, some other person, some cosmic injustice that's to blame for her problems. Now look, I'm not saying we shouldn't have empathy for people who are going through tough times, but there's a difference between genuine hardship and this constant need to play the victim. It's like they get some kind of weird satisfaction out of it, you know? And the thing is, this victim mentality, it prevents growth. Think about it. If you never take responsibility for your own actions, if you always blame everyone else for your problems, how are you ever going to learn from your mistakes? How are you ever going to evolve as a person? Stoicism is all about taking ownership of your life, man. It's about recognizing that you have the power to choose how you respond to any situation, even the shitty ones. So, if you're with a woman who's constantly stuck in victim mode, it's a tough one. Because a healthy relationship requires both people to be accountable for their own shit. Alright, this next one ties into the victim mentality, but it's worth its own category. We're talking about the woman who just refuses to learn from her mistakes. She keeps making the same bad decisions over and over again and never seems to connect the dots. It's like that saying, insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. And look, we all make mistakes, right? Nobody's perfect. But the difference is, a wise person, they learn from those mistakes. They use those experiences to grow, to evolve, to make better choices in the future. But someone who refuses to learn from experience, they're stuck in a loop. They're doomed to repeat the same patterns, the same dramas, the same heartache over and over again. Stoicism is all about self-reflection, man. It's about taking the time to analyze your actions, to understand the consequences of your choices, and to use that knowledge to become a better version of yourself. So if you're with a woman who seems incapable of learning from her past, it's a tough spot to be in. This next one is huge, and it can be tricky to navigate. We're talking about extreme emotional dependence. Look, we all want to feel loved and needed in a relationship, right? That's natural. But there's a difference between healthy interdependence and this suffocating, all-consuming neediness that some people have. We're talking about the woman who can't function without constant validation, constant reassurance, constant attention from her partner. She derives her entire sense of self-worth from the relationship, and it's like she's trying to merge her identity with yours. And that's a recipe for disaster, man, because when someone is that emotionally dependent, it puts an immense amount of pressure on the other person. Stoicism teaches us about the importance of self-sufficiency. It's about cultivating a strong sense of self, a deep inner confidence that doesn't rely on external validation. Because when you're secure in yourself, when you're comfortable in your own skin, you don't need someone else to complete you. So, if you're with a woman who exhibits this kind of extreme emotional dependence, it's crucial to set boundaries. Because a healthy relationship requires 2 individuals who can stand on their own 2 feet. Alright, this one's a real heartbreaker, man. Self-sabotage. We're talking about the woman who seems hell-bent on destroying her own happiness, her own success, and often her own relationships. It's like she gets close to something good, something real, something fulfilling, and then BAM! She pulls the rug out from under herself, she makes a reckless decision, picks a fight out of nowhere, pushes you away for no apparent reason. And the reason behind this self-sabotage, it's often rooted in deep-seated fear and insecurity. Maybe she's afraid of commitment, afraid of vulnerability, afraid of actually being happy, because deep down, she doesn't believe she deserves it. Stoicism teaches us that we have the power to control our thoughts, our actions, and ultimately, our destiny. So if you're with a woman who's prone to self-sabotage, it's a tough road, man. But sometimes, the most loving thing you can do is to walk away, to create space for her to heal and to learn to love herself. Last but not least, we've got the woman who's constantly fixated on the small stuff, the insignificant dramas, the fleeting pleasures, while completely ignoring the bigger picture. We're talking about the woman who obsesses over what everyone else thinks, who gets caught up in petty arguments, who chases after superficial validation, all while neglecting the truly important things in life. Personal growth, meaningful connections, making a positive impact on the world. It's like she's so busy chasing butterflies that she misses the entire garden in bloom. And the thing is, this short-sightedness, it leads to a lot of wasted time, wasted energy, and ultimately, wasted potential. Stoicism is all about living in alignment with nature, with reason, with virtue. It's about recognizing that we're all part of something much larger than ourselves, and that our actions have ripple effects that extend far beyond our immediate gratification. So, if you're with a woman who seems incapable of seeing the forest for the trees, it's important to gently guide her towards a more expansive perspective. So there you have it. 6 signs of a woman who may not be emotionally or mentally ready for a healthy relationship, especially from a Stoic perspective. Remember, we all have room to grow, and relationships require effort, understanding, and emotional intelligence from both partners. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.